This is Todd.
Hey, this is Devin.
Today we got something very special for you. Tell them what it is, Devin.
One of my favorites. This is the Michter's 10-year bourbon 2024 A barrel.
After this.
All right, everybody. So this is the Michter's 10-year bourbon out of Fort Nelson. This is a one of my favorite bottles. 2023 of last year's was, but this is the 2024 Alpha 0124 single barrel. These are rumored to be more than 10 years, but 10 years minimum. And usually these are quite delicious. So let's find out today and see how these are.
All right, go ahead and crack it open. Let's go.
All right, here we are. So we've got our crazy wax here. Oh boy.
They don't want you to drink their bourbon that bad.
That's right. All right.
A few moments later.
I need a pair of pliers to open this puppy up.
2 hours later.
Like a dental floss for your hands.
In the meantime, where'd you get the bottle?
I got this in a trade from one of my buddies. He recently came into a couple of them, and I was like, man, you know how much I like these. So he worked on that trade with me to get one of these.
One eternity later.
This is the blue.
Don't worry, they don't include these pliers, but let me tell you, you might need them. Really get in there! Oh shit!
So you might not get a review of the Michter's 2024 bourbon. Michter's, if you want people to drink your bourbon, make it a lot easier to open than this. I mean,
Yeah,
if I'm half drunk, 3 sheets to the wind, I'm not ever getting into this bottle.
Yeah, everyone, just send your bottles to me. I'll open them first for you, and that way we can all enjoy it together. Oh man, there we go. Well, now that this bottle is very easy to open, great cork pop, let me tell you. So here we are. We have the Michter's 2024 Fresh Crack.
All right, so now that ordeal's passed, we're going to let these sit for about 15 minutes since it is a fresh crack and open up a little bit, and we'll be back. All right, we let this sit for a while, and now we're back. Let's get into this.
So let's see here what we got. All right, what do you get on the nose on this?
Wow, I get immediately vanilla and caramel, like a vanilla caramel.
Yeah, I get super rich, sweet. I know a lot of bourbons have a little more like heat and brashness to them. This is just easy going. Real nice. Creme brulee. That's what I always get on these usually, and it's definitely in line with the other ones. And I'm big on the nose, so noses for me are almost one of my top for ratings, and this one always does well. Well, here we go.
So I don't get as much caramel on the palate in that first sip, nowhere near as much as I got on the nose. I get a little oakiness, cinnamon in the mid palate, some vanilla on the finish. So sweeter on the finish than on the front.
And the finish is all forward. There is no heat down the back.
No.
And at 94.4 proof, this bottle it does drink a little hotter than what it is, but I definitely wish it was hotter than what it comes off as. So I wish it was at least 100, 110 would be amazing.
Second sip, I'm getting some of that caramel on the front. Still I get quite a bit of cinnamon off this.
Yeah.
It's got oakiness to it. It's got a very nice mouthfeel.
Yeah.
Nice oily mouthfeel.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
It coats it, but it doesn't stay too long like a high barrel proof. So from the distillery, they're $185. MSRP is that when you can find them here in Ohio. It's an ABC state, so when they do release them, they're $185. The rye is $200. A lot of times that could come off a little steep for a 94.4 proof bottle. But I will say, sub 100 proof bottles, I think this is the best one out there. But yeah, Todd, what do you think?
It's got a great mouthfeel. It's nice on the palate. A little bit of oak that lingers. I have a hard time with the price because it just doesn't have the finish. I mean,
Yeah.
It's just ends too quickly for me. You
Yeah.
know, something when I get that high, 150 plus, I'm expecting it to really last a lot longer. So that's the only thing that gets me. It's got a nice palate. It's got a great nose, nice mouthfeel. The price kind of knocks it down a little bit in the book.
I mean, it is a single barrel. It is at least 10 years old. Last year's were, I talked to Dan McKee, the master distiller at Michter's, and he said they're closer to 15 years, at least for the 2023 release was. I love that they held it off last year from the 22 to the 23 and decided to release them a year later. I think that really helped with that 2023 release. I'm not sure if they did the same thing for the 2024 release, if they held some higher age barrels back, or if they just released them on time. But I still enjoy this one. We'll probably compare these right now to the 23 and maybe the 21, and kind of go from there and see how they are.
The 23 was like really, really popular batch.
Yeah.
Let's compare it to the 23.
All right, so we have a 23. It is almost empty. This is the 23H2787 barrel. It's not an A barrel to compare apples to apples, but last year's release, this year's release, and let's give this a try. I think that the 23 definitely has a darker, more oaky, leathery nose to it.
I can tell you that on the 23, I get a tobacco almost note that I do not get on the 24.
The 24 smells a little cleaner, but the 23 definitely smells a little more robust and full. Almost kind of like the E.H. Taylor Barrel Proof batch 11 versus 12. I feel like the 24 is kind of like the 11. It's a little cleaner and sweeter, and then the 12 versus like
that darker
23 is the
darker tobacco leather,
more
quintessential Kentucky bourbon profile. Yeah, I like that. That's really nice.
Yeah, the 23.
I think it's less oaky. 23 is less oaky, but it's got that really dark, rich mid palate.
Since we're at it, I do have a 23A. I finished one off the other day, and I have a little bit left of the what I had left of that bottle.
This is the 23A.
Now, this was a end of the bottle. It's been in the sample for a little bit, but
I get a lot more vanilla on that 23A.
Yeah.
Like a lot of vanilla on that. Not as dark as the. So I'm guessing it's 23B.
That's a 23H.
H. So
Yeah.
23H.
So I feel like the 23A brings together the sweetness and the earthy tobacco leatheriness of the other 23H.
Yeah, I get a lot of.
And kind of rounds everything out. Now, I'm not sure. I know secondary, these are like $4.50 for the 23As versus $3.25 or whatever it is. I'm not sure if it's that big of a difference.
I do wish they would disclose where it's from. I know it's sourced.
Yeah,
the
so
older Michter stuff is sourced.
Yeah, the older stuff is rumored to be Brown Foreman. It's not confirmed, but let me tell you, this does taste like a baby King of Kentucky. in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with the Michter's 10, except for the availability and price. I will say, since we have all these out, I might as well do one more small pour since I have it, and I'm sure some people want to comment on it and say that they want to see what it's like. But I do have a 2021 as well, the Michters. This one is 21 L because this is a import, so this is a L21 D1114. So this is a 700 milliliter import.
Mr. Michter's.
Yeah, I like my Michters. What can I say? I'll keep the pour around the same size.
That's different from the others.
Yeah.
Like a dark cherry almost.
Yeah. For me, I feel the 21 is just a tad muted on the aroma, and I really am a big fan of the caramely, sweet, creme brulee, tobacco-y of the recent years. 21, it's good. I'm not disappointed with the bottle, but I would much rather have probably one of these two, or the 23A. Thoughts on this one?
That's thinner.
Yep, definitely thin. It might be a 10-year, 14-year, 13-year, 10-year, 12-year. You know, it's at least 10 years old, single barrel. So you're going to have that fluctuation of the barrels.
The
But
palate's not as complex as yours.
yeah,
I mean, it's thinner. It's more just kind of the mellow forward.
yeah. So which one was your favorite? Let's go in order.
I gotta compare these two. Hold on. So my last place would be the 21.
Yep, that is the same for me.
It's really thin, almost single note.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't get much off of it. Definitely would be my
Yeah.
last.
For bourbon, sweet, not brash at all, not astringent in any way.
My next one, my number 3, would be this year's, the 24.
Okay.
It's a little too oaky for me. So
I wouldn't say it's as oaky for me. It doesn't have as much characteristics as the 23 did. But yeah, that is also my third.
my second place is the 23A.
Interesting.
It was good. It was definitely better than the other two.
Yep.
But the 23H had a kind of dark tobacco note that I liked better.
Okay.
So
do you think that you think it's better just to get if you had to pay secondary or find one of these, you don't think it matters if it's an A or a B or an H barrel? It's the same year is fine.
well, out of these I've tried, the 23s are definitely better than the
Yes,
21
yeah.
and 24. So
Yeah, I enjoyed the 23. A is my favorite, and then the H was right behind it, but it wasn't too far behind where you're justifying trying to get more of those A barrels. So Todd, do you think it's
as far as my ranking?
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
So we were talking about we're going to do rankings as a trash, which is just don't bother with this bottle at all. A try, which is you might be interested, you need to try it first.
Yeah.
A buy, which is you don't got to worry about really trying it. This is good enough.
At least
just
get
buy
one
it.
because you know you're going to probably enjoy it, and if not, it should still be a something you at least got one of, and if you have people over, they can enjoy it as well.
And a backup, which is even if you got to pay a little more than secondary and you got to hunt it, go hunt this bottle and get as many as you can.
More than MSRP. Don't pay more than secondary.
Oh, not more. No.
Don't get robbed.
More than MSRP. Yeah, more
Correct,
than
yes,
MSRP
yes.
for 2024. This bottle that we opened today, I would actually give that a try.
Okay.
Only because of the price. It's not a bad
Yeah.
tasting pour at all, but at 185, I expect a little bit more on it.
Yeah.
So I think before you dedicate that kind of money at MSRP, much less trying to go anything over towards secondary,
Yeah.
you need to try that and make sure it's something you really want.
Yeah, I would say the 2024. I mean, for me, I'm between the try and the buy. I know Michter's always puts out a quality product that fits my palate. It might not be yours, but for me, I'm between the two. It's a toss-up. For me, I'm going to probably buy it because I enjoy Michter's. But for you, I would say if you're not a Michter's fan, try it out. If you really like Michter's and what they've been doing, then at least buy one and just see what you think about it. So that's for the 24. What do you think about the 23s and the 21?
The 23H, if I ran across one, I'd buy it at MSRP. Absolutely.
Yep.
If you find that 23H and you find it at 180 to 200, I'd go ahead and get it. That was by far the best before and the most enjoyable to me.
Yeah.
If I ran across it, I'd buy it.
What about the? I would say the same. All the 23s. I have a few, and I've never been disappointed with one of the 23s. Seems like they're higher aged, and I think that you're getting a little bit more for that MSRP than some of their earlier offerings or whatnot. So
yeah, the 23A, I'd say the same. I'd buy the 23A. 21, I won't say it trash. It's not trash, but you definitely got to try it before you buy that at that price point.
Yeah,
because I would pass on it at $185 for what I got there.
I got this one just to see if it was different compared to the 23s. And when I had it, I was like, wow, the 23s really stand out and they shine above the other 21, at least the one that I have as the import. But the 24, I feel it falls between the two. And I think it's pretty good. So
there you have it. Take it for what it's worth. By the way, we have no idea what the hell we're talking about. We are not experts. We're just two guys who spend a lot of money on whiskey and like to drink a lot.
Yeah.
So please subscribe, like, comment below. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
Yep. And remember that the best bourbon or whiskey is the one you like the most.
There you go. See ya.